What you are looking at, folks, is the worst image of myself that I could find on the internet so far. Now, there may be some people who have posted something worse, but you say, Big O, why would you post your mugshot? This is my mugshot now. I'm looking good. I know I'm looking fantastic. even in my mugshot. You see, I say mugshot. Even in my mugshot, which means that I was falsely detained for something, right? I look good. The only thing they said, let me show you how things work. My spirit was so positive that the people taking the picture, everybody involved, all the officers involved in the, they arrest you, they book you, and all this stuff. My spirit was still so positive, my energy so enlightened that they say, sir, we not going to even take your clothes off. The only thing we have to do is take your tie off. We have to take your tie off, for in case you decide to get depressed and kill yourself. But we're going to leave you in your suit, man, because you don't belong here. Let me tell you something, folks. When you have been falsely accused, the paperwork's been docked, whatever the image has been set up, right? And it took 2 years to set up what created this mugshot. And you say, well, Big O, why would you tell us something most of us didn't know about you? Because I'm not afraid of you seeing the wounds. I'm not afraid of you seeing the wounds that I've been suffered. See, so many times we see the fancy suits, we see the cars and the homes and the success, but we don't see what the pains and the perseverance and the cost that is taken to get where we are. We don't see the reality. See, our enemies would love to shoot up and say, well, look here, look here. Look what happened to him. They won't tell you the truth behind this story. They won't tell you the punk coward and the betrayal of the person who created this story. They won't bother to tell you that. But Big O is not ashamed. I want you to look at this. This is my mugshot, folks. This is how many people get to take they arrest picture with a suit on. Look at this, smiling. This is, folks. This is after a day and a half of sitting in a tank. That's why my eyes are squint. I normally have Chinaman eyes anyway. But this is a day and a half. They said, man, we're not going to put you in no orange jumpsuit. We're not going to put you, not a king, not you, sir. Do you understand this, folks? My energy and my uplifting the spirit within me was so that nobody wanted to take me out my suit. Man, why are you here? Let's hurry up and get you out of here. Amen. But sometimes God has an experience for you that you don't understand. Sometimes you are going to go into the darkest of places. Think about Jesus. And whether you believe in Jesus as the Christ or not, the story is that he went into death and redeemed those who had died before he came. And similarly, folks, when I went into this experience, they got a show called 60 Days In. When I went into this experience, and I didn't voluntarily go 60 days in, I was dressed up. And I'm not ashamed to tell you about it, because if you don't know the darkness and it happens to you, you might give up there. So you look at me now and you say, man, there's no way you face this, you face that. I've literally been to jail a few times. One time we were falsely accused, a friend of mine and I, we were at a movie. This was when we were teenagers. And a gang of the lighter you. We were in a movie theater where the lighter yous lived. And they didn't, some gang didn't want us there. Gang of boys, about 6, 7 of them. We beat the living bricks off those boys. Do you hear me, my friend? And now the two of us beat the living bricks off of 6, 7 teenage boys to the point where they called the cops. And when the cops came and saw it was 2 against 6 or 7, I don't remember the exact number. Even they had to say, okay, well, we don't have no choice but to let these guys go. Right? But they made a big stink out of it. Parents had to come. We were detained for that time. Another time I was detained in the service. I spent 3 days in the brig. Not because I had done anything criminal or wrong, but because, now get this. The captain, I was leaving the service. I said, hey, man, I appreciate the experience. I'm out of here. The captain said, we got too much invested in you. We want you to stay. I said, no, sir, I can't stay. I got to go. He said, well, I'm going to let you spend 3 days in the brig to think about it. Like spending time in jail, like having him show me that the service owned me and could do literally anything to me for no cause would encourage me to want to stay in that situation? No, sir. And then, of course, this situation, which was actually brought about by someone I loved and cared for, someone that I didn't let work for the entire time we were together. So I say this, and I'm sharing this with you so that you'll know several things. One, if who you are is who you are, and what you are and who you are inside, everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. Now, you show me somebody else who's mugshot, who been in jail a day and a half, and they still got their suit and shirt on and can still smile. You show me another mugshot like that. That's how the energy and the personality and who I am rang through to everybody there, that this man has been dressed up. Yeah, he been dressed up. And dressed up by close. Do you understand? I'm not going to say exactly who, but I'm going to say this. Some of the most painful situations can come from your enemies within. There is nobody so close to you that they may not betray you. The devil is always busy. What I want you to do is be encouraged and understand that for every good thing that you saw and all the positive images you see of me, they have not been for free. I've been detained several times driving my own vehicles. Right? I've been detained several times driving my own vehicle. Matter of fact, I forgot to tell you, I did a weekend in jail falsely accused of stealing my own car. So the story is I'm leaving my house, and between my house and my uncle's house, my son and I were traveling. And a vehicle that I guess someone of my color and age wasn't supposed to have. At least not unless he's doing something illegal or an athlete. Detained, do you hear me? No record whatsoever, not even a parking ticket in the last 30 years, but I was detained. Now, I want you guys to understand this. In order to be detained, the cop has to call it in to somebody, and somebody has to say, yeah, we believe it's enough to create a charge and book him. Of course, as it turns out, once my lawyer was able to get involved, I was let out immediately. And there's a lawsuit, for pending. It take a long time to get paid from the governments. But suffice it to say, when you are of my you and you riding around in something that people believe you're not supposed to be riding around in, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of scarring. There's a lot of stuff that my friends of lighter use have no idea that we experienced. I mean, I've been stopped by every jurisdiction within 5 miles of my house. City, county, state, right? Often they'll stop me and say, oh, well, we just want to know who was driving the car. Well, really what they want to know is when you roll the window down, do they smell dope? Who's driving the car? Chance to, run your report, whatever. When they don't have nothing, they let you go. This one particular time, the cop called it in, and I actually did a weekend in jail, which even their own people admitted There was no record of anybody calling the vehicle in stolen at all. It was pure fabrication. I'm telling you this because I want you to know that innocent people are in jail. It can happen to anybody. It happened to me. It was so traumatizing to myself and my son. I stopped rolling rides for a while that I thought I couldn't, I wasn't supposed to be in. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine someone not driving? I didn't even want to stay in the house no more. I wanted out of that whole jurisdiction, out of that whole county. Can you imagine someone leaving their estate because they're tired of being pulled over, going home? Within 2 miles of my house, I would be stopped so many times. I would be followed going into my own driveway. Right? If that damn gate didn't open properly, there's no telling how many times I would have been arrested. I'm sharing this with you to say that whatever you're going through, keep your head up. Don't let what you see as the finished product make you not believe that we've been through hell, right? A lot of us have been through living hell to get to where we are. And so when we come back to you, you young people, and we say, stay focused, stay on point, stop wasting your time and energy with foolishness. People taking pictures of food and bragging about buying brands that could care less about you when it's building time. It's building time. And you're wasting money and you're wasting opportunity and you're wasting energy on superficial things. We are enduring wounds out here so that you can have a better opportunity. I'm blessed in that my spirit towards all people remains the same. I don't let even the people who dressed me up. Now, there's a punk coward, I got to admit. I saw him one time, I confronted him, and because we was in public, and he denied it, I had to let him survive. Otherwise, I'd be facing these charges for real, folks. And the other party involved, that person, I have to let her make it because it's a her, and because of the establishment of the relationship, I have to forgive it and then she ended up paying it her own way. But suffice it to say that I want you to know that I don't fear the truth. I'm real. So I don't worry about my haters. I don't worry about my naysayers. I don't worry about people running up saying, well, this and that, and oh, you don't know this about him. You don't know that about him. That's not my reality. I don't live a lie, and I don't run from the truth. The fact of the matter is, I believe I'm a pretty good person. So the truth about me should be 99% good. But I keep that 1%. Now, I do keep that 1% reserved for dealing with what may have to come. So don't touch my children. Don't touch my mama. Don't touch my sister. Amen. Don't touch none of the women in my family. You might see that 1%. But whatever you're going through, if you're going through any struggle, any strain, just look at me. Look at me smiling on my mugshot. In other words, you keep your head up. You keep being you. If you know you're doing good, keep going. Lots of people been lied on. There are seriously some innocent people, right? We see it every day, 27 years, 30 years, and then exonerated. Proof say he couldn't have did it. She couldn't have did it. But if it had not been for them surviving, keeping their head up and insisting, right? So many times they get offered to just say you did it and we'll let go and let you out time served. And how many people have done that and let the correction system off the hook when they truly was innocent, but the pain just got to them to where they just quit and took something that they know they didn't do. Stand, 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 stand. You may lose a whole bunch of people, but you keep standing. I'm your brother from another. I just wanted to share this with you. That what look like is always roses ain't always roses. We go through some things. I've been through some pain. Do you hear me? But don't accept defeat as your end. Find a way to win. There's always a way to win. There's always a way to win. There's always a way to win. Keep your head up. I'm your brother from another, Odell Dove. Odell Dove. I don't care how you spell it. It's the same. As long as you see that face, it's the same dude. In today's time, we could be put into any foolishness. So don't necessarily believe the foolishness. Just trust in what you know about me, that he real. And if it's true, he'll tell us himself. Have an awesome day, friends. Keep your head up. Go though, grow though. Keep a good thing going.